Hey there, guys. Anthony here, and I got my new co-host here, Travis. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Travis. How's it going?
Glad to have you on, man. So, we got a little new format just in case, because over there was kind of getting old and not a whole lot of room to move around. So with a new person, I thought, add a table, new background full of comics, make it a little fun. Is this fun?
Yeah, it is fun. It's a lot more fun than trying to cram two people behind a desk.
Good. Alright. So first, one book that we each read was Batman number 21. This, of course, was the first issue of Scott Snyder's new Zero Year, which goes even beyond the origin, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a pre-origin story before he even has the cowl.
Which is kind of interesting to think. We've had stuff like Year One by Frank Miller, which is what it is, Year One. We can even go past that at the moment. First initial thoughts on this book.
I've always liked Greg Capullo on everything he's done on Batman, so I'm glad to see him back with Scott Snyder. A big thing that's kind of confusing me is the very first panel. So 6 years ago. The only thing, it's really the only confusion with the whole book. Is 6 years ago, is it 6 years before Batman or before Justice League? Because the original Justice League arc was 5 years ago. So putting it 6 years ago from Batman would only make it a year before that, which would be essentially another Year One story. So I assume it's 6 years pre-Justice League, because you only see kind of a makeshift Bat costume in the early beginnings of this book.
Yeah, it's really cool. He even has the purple gloves in there, which I thought was really neat. I really like that.
And then it goes back, I think it's another 6 months before that, and it's going to be him against the Red Hoods with kind of some...
Early Red Hood, guys. Yeah. This is even before Joker was Red Hood.
Yeah. So I'm really interested in what Snyder's got to write here.
I am interested really much too. I like the way it's starting out right now. It's an interesting take on a kind of very, very early on Bruce Wayne, which reminds me of Batman Begins a lot.
Yes.
I would say a lot of Batman stuff is going back to the earlier years now. Even stuff like the Arkham Origins game that's going into Year 2. It kind of makes you think of just like, oh man, how's all these continuities working with just how many years it goes into? Someone needs to make a big map of multiple Batman continuities and how the years work.
There just needs to be a Batman, like in the cave, there needs to be a sign that just says, nobody knows anything ever until you read it.
Well, that was one of the most confusing things when New 52 came out with the whole, like, how old is Damian technically? So it's like, how long was his first one? We're getting off topic. This was a good book. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Good start.
I guess since we're on the topic of Scott Snyder, he's got his hands full with what's coming up next.
We have another book by Scott Snyder, Superman Unchained. This book. First of all, what did you think of it?
I thought it was a really good read. Jim Lee, fantastic artist. Love to see him on Superman and on Batman, and really, it's overall really good. I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. I
love this book. I'm really excited to be reading a Superman title, because for the longest time, Superman, the main book, has been really awkward.
Yes.
There's been people coming off and coming on. Scott Liddell is writing it right now, and I've heard good things about Scott Liddell writing. I just don't think it's my kind of Superman that I want to read at the moment. And for a moment, Andy Diggle was writing action.
Yeah,
but, there was a whole thing that he's pretty much, I think he's left DC at the moment, so that's not happening. And Scott Liddell's writing action. He's writing both Superman and action right now. That's ridiculous.
That's way too much.
Like, that's so crazy to think that this man is writing 2 Superman titles. I mean, that's one of the biggest characters at DC.
And even Grant Morrison's run before that. I mean, Grant Morrison is a really good writer, but the whole 0 through 18 of action was really confusing.
Yeah, Grant Morrison, I loved the first arc of action. It was one of my favorite things to read about Superman. I loved it. But, like you said, as it kept going, it got so confusing. Anytime Legion comes in, I get lost.
Exactly.
I'm not going to lie.
I'm pretty sure that's why the Legion Lost happened.
That's good. Pretty much the whole main story with this is satellites and certain things like that are falling from the sky. And Superman, first reaction, of course, is Lex did it.
Yeah.
Lex like, I'm going to tell you, I didn't do this.
I didn't.
Can I say how much I love Jim Lee art on Lex Luthor?
Yes.
Like, he looks
fantastic.
Great. I thought that was one of the best things about this book, was the way Lex Luthor looked. I'm really excited to see where this goes. A lot of cool stuff going on with Superman. Jimmy Olsen, I really liked in this book a lot.
That was a good surprise.
All in all, really great book. Happy reading Superman.
I did like one more thing in here. There's a fold out. It's a big giant spread, but it's in a poster. Yeah, like instead of we had like the normal
foldouts, you have to open it up, which was kind of interesting. That was definitely a what's I'm looking for, like a leap into this. Like, should we kind of make a separate page because it comes out and stuff? And it looks great because it's Jim Lee, but that was kind of cool. I like that. So good book. You should read it. All right, now I'm going to go to my first solo book for this week, and that's going to be Mega Man, what number is this? I don't even know. It's issue 26. It is part 7 of the Sonic Mega Man crossover. This series has been fantastic.
Yeah, I started reading it after I saw you put it on there. I haven't caught up yet.
It has been so much fun. If you are, like I said, it's every time I review this book, Mega Man Sonic fan, you're going to like this book. At the moment, pretty much Mega Man and Sonic, they've teamed up at this point. They're going after the last of the robot sizers. So they're going after Shadow Man and Silver Man and Blaze Woman and that sort of thing. And they're starting to narrow down the numbers. And it's kind of cool, I love the way these two characters react. Because Mega Man, it's almost as if it's like a Captain America and Tony Stark kind of contrast. Because Mega Man is very like, oh, I have to do what's right because I'm a hero, like Superman and such. And Sonic is very full of himself. He's cocky. He's always going fast. That's because who Sonic is. Yeah. And it's such a cool dynamic. I really do love
I really like it from the issues that I've read, and I'm really excited to get caught up with you.
This has been fun. Also, these variants right here, we got like the 8-bit sort of variant going on. I'm really loving these. Yeah. I'm so glad that we're getting these in the store. So yeah, if you are a fan, this series is continuing to be one of my favorite things to read each month. Part 7 of 12. Good Lord.
I love to see big arcs like that, no matter who it's from.
I'm pretty sure that in trade they're planning on putting it in 3 parts, so that's going to be huge. I'm excited about reading the rest of that. Now, I guess we can go to your first solo book.
All right.
So we got Savage Wolverine.
My pick here is Savage Wolverine. It is number 6, and there's a new creative team, Zeb Wells and Joe Mad. Joe Mad's art, I'm always excited to see him because it's very rare that he does stuff anymore, mostly because he's working with Darksiders and all those random projects he's got. As far as the story, it's still the Savage Land, but Elektra is actually in this story, and Elektra and Wolverine have to team up. And Spider-Man kind of comes along. You see him on the cover.
He's in the on the cover.
Yeah, you don't expect Elektra at all. You open the page and what is she doing here? But they do make a very good point of saying this is in the past. This has already happened.
Oh, okay.
So this is Peter Parker's.
Oh, so it's Peter Parker.
Yeah. So
I'm about to ask.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So you have the serious Wolverine, you have Elektra. They're both doing the mission, and you have quirky Peter Parker, kind of as the comedic relief.
Oh, cool.
So with Zeb Wells writing and Joe Mad's art, it's just a really good combination, especially with the 3 different characters. There's really not too much I could say about the story because it is the beginning of a new arc.
Right.
So I don't want to give too much away, but I would definitely recommend picking this up. If for nothing else, just the art style.
Wow, that's really great. That's kind of a running thing that we've had is beginning of arcs at the moment.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Glad it's Peter Parker. That makes me excited.
That was a very good surprise.
And the final book is one of my solo books, and it is My Little Pony number 8. Now, we were talking earlier how it's the beginning of arcs. This is actually the last issue of the second arc going on right now. And this was, I would say, a nice ending here. This whole second arc was a bit hit or miss with me. There were some things that I really liked, but just I felt like it was going through the motions, I guess. Like he was saying, oh, here's a certain pony. Oh, she makes a joke. Ha ha, good job, Pinkie Pie. Like, we kind of get to that point, but I think that Spike, the dragon, is probably the best character in this book, which I wouldn't expect, sort of thing. I'm having a lot of fun with this book. I'm going to continue reading it, obviously, because it's a great read. But I would say that this was a fun read, not my favorite, but it's still, it's My Little Pony. If you like that kind of stuff, you're going to enjoy it for the most part. So I'm glad that the story's doing well. I'm pretty sure, because they had a creative team on the first arc, and then they did another creative team on the second arc. I'm assuming they're going to change it up with the third one,
most likely,
like they always do, which I'm excited for, because it kind of gives it a different feel, much like the show. There's always different writers on different episodes, so fun stuff there. I liked it a lot. So that's all for comics. If you had a pick of the week, what would it be? Like your number 1?
Number 1, I would say either Batman or Superman Unchained. Either way, a Scott Snyder title.
Yeah, I would say, Snyder really does really great this week. He had 2 huge heroes to come out, so I would say Unchained as well. That was such a fantastic read. I'm so happy to be reading Superman again,
I am
regularly.
Too.
So that's gonna be a fun.
It's a good change. I mean, Batman's got a lot of stories going on, but I think Snyder's take on Superman is going to change things a lot for a bunch of readers.
Exactly. Let's go on to the recommendations of things in the store. It's a little new segment that I'm starting if you didn't catch last week's. And what we have now are these little pop figures, which I really do like. If you want to take a look at those.
Here we go.
We have Superman, the Man of Steel, Henry Cavill there. And then we have the Zod one. And the Zod one looks really cool. I love how just angry he looks, you know?
Even as a pop figure, you can tell he's angry at everything.
He's just like, I will find him. I love it. I cannot wait to see this movie, by the way.
I cannot either.
I got my midnight tickets for tomorrow night. I'm pumped. So, pop figures, definitely great. And another thing, I'm gonna walk over here to get it.
These things are awesome.
Let's see if I can. We have paper masks. I have no idea where we got these exactly.
I'm not sure either.
If you've ever been to Dallas Comic Con, I've seen people with like paper helmets there, and I'm having a hard time staying on my face. And, like make clone trooper helmets and whatnot. This is our very special Sci-Fi Factory exclusive paper helmet. They're only $6, so if you want a cool clone trooper or maybe even a, we got up here, we got a
Boba Fett.
A Boba Fett helmet. You want to put that on. I mean, these are just great pickups. So if you want a cool, cheap helmet to wear and look goofy, then yeah, be perfect. So that pretty much wraps up this episode. I had a lot of fun. Thank you, man, for joining me.
Thank you.
And see you guys later.